Welcome to Going 19, Episode 5. In this episode, we conclude our discussion of 11/22/63, Part 2, The Janitor's Father. I am Ed. With me are Kirsten and Amber. So let's start the show.
Well, I figure one of you guys can do the next one. Hello. Why does that keep happening?
Hey.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. There
Can you hear us?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to work on that. Now I got way too many audio files to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay. Where were we at? Jake should have ate a fucking payday and packed it.
You were asking me about the
cold fish. Right. You get it?
No.
That is what the judge tells Andy Dufresne. You strike me as a mighty cold fish, Mr. Dufresne.
No, I don't remember that.
Do you remember that? Shawshank Redemption? Can you tell me you saw that?
Yeah, a long time ago. So.
Okay. Did people even approach him as he went about the job of pouring grain alcohol into the coals of rage at the back of his brain? I love that image. What are you doing over there?
Taking my stuff back inside from earlier. Some of it.
197. We'll figure out that way next time. I don't know. 197 at the bottom. He says, job of pouring grain alcohol onto the coals of rage at the back of his brain.
I just like that too.
I like that visual. Because that's exactly what he's doing. I don't think he planned on killing his family, but what set him off?
We don't know because he didn't go to the bar that he was at to find out.
Yeah, he went to the secret bar. I'm assuming it's not the first time he's been there, so
No, but I'm saying he didn't go to. Jake didn't go to the bar to figure it out because he wanted to wait for him at the house to try and find out things in the first place.
Yeah, he just went to the bar. He should have got him so drunk he couldn't leave the bar. Oh well, he thought about that, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't happen another day. Okay. I mean, I guess we're pretty much at the end at this point. Turco confronts him. I like how he calls him out. He's like, "You fucking chicken shit. This guy killed your sister and nephew 20 years ago, and you haven't even had the balls to confront him in 20 years."
Let's be real, you aren't going to if you haven't done it already.
Right. Super little, and then things get, I guess, the past is obdurate. Because Tugger gets his freaking head exploded by the little sledgehammer.
At the top of page 199 is where it says, "You see how easy it is to forget the obduracy of the past."
Wow, and is that an adverb or an adjective? Obduracy?
It's not an adverb.
It's one of those. It's not an adverb. He hates those. No, he hates adverbs. An adverb, no, that's the obduracy of, no, it's describing the past.
It's an adjective, yeah. Sorry, but we were talking about Tugger.
It's not the last time that's going to come up. There's a lot of obduracy.
Well, the first time I saw that word, I was like, oh, I should look that up. I'm not exactly sure what that means. And I was like, let me keep reading for now. I'll come back to it later. And then I saw it 10 more times. I don't think I'm going to forget now.
Yeah, I never looked it up. I'm pretty sure it just means the past doesn't want to be changed. And it's going to fight.
Well, obduracy isn't, that is what it's describing. it's describing the past, but it's basically like stubbornness, essentially.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Obdurate is stubbornly refusing to change a course of change an opinion or course of action.
Oh, there you go. Stubborn in the position.
It is.
The yard gloom of 202 Weimar. I couldn't turn 202 into 19, even though I tried.
And I was still trying. I was like 2 plus 2 or 22 minus 2.
Right, 20. Well, 20 minus 2. No, that was close.
Yep.
206 would be 20 minus. Yes, it just doesn't work. He actually put a number in there that had nothing to do with 19 for the first time ever. I think the movie description is because it says this later. That's the movie they're watching when something. I guess that's when the shit hits the fan when the movie starts. 208, according to the Bulova, the new adventures of Ellery Queen was now being telecast. I guess that's when he's like running out of time.
Because he said in Harry's story, he says that it's when the show is on, but like he doesn't know when the show is on that it starts.
Oh, okay. So that's why he had that whole marquee thing in there. Mm-hmm. That was important.
Yeah, God.
What? Bar the door, Mom. That's not just your bad-tempered husband. That's Derry itself coming up the walk.
That was one thought I was thinking about the bars. I was like, for all we know, freaking Pennywise is sitting there talking in his ear at the bar.
Right. Buying them drinks.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta let that bitch do that to you?
Or the same.
You know, you gotta bug him because, like, he mentions how like the whole town knows that he's not living with his wife anymore, so it's got to be like eating at him, like. I don't know what the word is, like a bug in his brain, like that. Like make me look bad in front of the whole town. I'll show her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, I could. And there's no saying what will set that one instance off. I mean, that's just what happens in domestic abusive relationships.
And that's the problem. If he deflects it this time, it's just probably going to happen another time.
Right? Yeah, he needs to die for sure.
Yeah, like he needs to. He needs to solve it once and for all.
Not that that's like a. I guess I believe in the death penalty.
No, personal level. We're about a governmental justice level. And then what's her name? Doris.
The wife.
What she says is slightly different. I don't know, but that's just memory, I think. And it's like 2 pages, and it's like bam.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it all happened so fast.
In those 2 pages.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe he does. Like, I can't believe he drives from Derry back to the portal with a
blood on his shirt.
Gash.
Oh yeah.
His head. Like, how does he not pass out? You can't tell me he doesn't have a concussion.
He probably did. But
he definitely did. He was a sledgehammer.
It was a 1958 version of the concussion. So it wasn't
a concussion, dude.
No, medical science hadn't advanced that far. We didn't even know.
We didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah. And it says, "Who the fuck are you?" Just like the yellow card man with the same apostrophe.
Yeah, I noticed that too, but I didn't mention it because I was like, I don't know if that's because everybody from that time probably would have said it in that way.
Maybe, yeah, but he's also writing it. Nothing's an accident, so.
That's also true.
Stop, Daddy. Stop or choo-choo.
This is the first time I thought of this, but it's reminding me kind of a little bit of Frank. No, from Insomnia. Frank, is that his name? Ed. Yeah, of Ed's devolvement. Although we don't really know much about Frank from like before he was abusive. I
mean, I don't know if Frank devolved. I think maybe he was always that way.
Right. But just well, never mind.
He killed Bill Sugarcoat's sister was supposedly. I guess we don't know that for a fact, but
That's a good point. Yeah, I think it is. Because what I was thinking was if he was being influenced by something in Derry, it reminded me of Ed. But now we're like, it could have just, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that could have just been the way Frank has always been.
I think Ed's problem was, Walter, Crimson King, that kind of stuff.
Right, right.
So that's a whole nother level we're not ready for yet.
No.
Okay.
I feel like somebody had to have said something to him because he was crying when he came in.
Frank?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was drunk, so
But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Being drunk makes you over emotional, so I feel like somebody maybe poked the bear and said something to him, and he just went on this rampage.
Yeah, he did. He said something that surprised me at one point. I don't see it. Like snot was flying from his nose. Like
exactly, snot coming from his nostrils.
Like
spit,
like was he?
shin.
Like I cried. Go ahead.
I agree with what you're saying, but I also know of enough real life instances where it just you're in your own psychotic break and you can talk yourself into it.
How many of those have you had?
I've seen enough, is what I said. Instances.
Yeah. His gushing eyes and gnashing mouth. He seemed to be chewing air rather than breathing it. A blabbering emptiness.
I kind of don't understand why he killed Tugga at that point. Like, it just seemed so pointless. Like, just to show that he was still in control, or like
it was pointless. What do you mean?
Because I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking. Like, obviously Doris is the main target of the aggression, and so when oh my god, Jake interrupts him, like this is why it's so easy for him to kill Tugga, is because nobody is expecting him to be focused on that. We're expecting him to be focused on Jake and what's going on and stuff like that. And all of a sudden he's just like, oh yeah, this is what I'm here to do, smash. And it's like, it seems out of...
I think because he was crawling towards Jake. I think that was...
Why was he crawling?
I don't know. I don't see that part.
Do you see what I'm saying though? Because it's not like he was a toddler.
Maybe he was trying to get away. I mean, his sister was under the chair at that point. His mom was splattered. Or no, she wasn't splattered.
No, she just got hurt. She got hurt.
Maybe he's just scared shitless and crawling away, like frightened little kid. And I think because...
Well, to be honest, he doesn't know who Jake is, and Jake has a gun. I mean, I guess he's crawling towards him. But...
Dunning was here. Dunning was coming through the front door. Jake was standing in front of the kitchen, is my understanding.
Yeah.
And then Tugga was crawling towards Jake's back almost, because Jake shoots Frank. So Frank's coming in this way. Jake
definitely saw it.
Be crawling this
way. Well, he couldn't have hit him if Tugga was behind Jake. He could have smashed his head open. If Jake would have been in between the two, he couldn't have reached him from where he was.
I pulled the trigger again, but someone jostled me just as I did, and the bullet went high and wild. It was Harry. Stop it, Daddy. His voice was shrill. Stop or I'll shoot you. Arthur Tugga Dunning was crawling toward me, toward the kitchen. Just as Harry fired his air rifle, Dunning brought the sledge down on Tugga's head.
I saw that as
he moves out of the way.
He was crawling away from his dad, is the way I saw it. Because he was over by Ellen. I thought.
Yeah, he's crawling toward me. So yeah, you're right, toward the kitchen.
Yeah, towards Jake. Right. And then it was almost like a reflex because he was running away is why he smashed his head open. I think like if he wasn't moving, he might have been a little safer. But
I could see that. Yeah, especially if you're that worked up and you're just like, oh. And then for Jake to come in and knock him off, and he was like, that's actually, yeah, that kind of was what I said, but it was also the answer to my question because I forgot I was doing this. I mean, smash.
Also getting shot.
Apparently that didn't affect him very much, right?
Yeah, but he's drunk, so he's not going to feel too much.
Well, it's
And
not.
his adrenaline is
Red,
rushing.
but it's still like there's a lot going on. You know, it's just another thing adding to the chaos.
Right. It wasn't PCP, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for Tugga. I was like, damn it. So he's gonna have to like do this way differently next time, and it's gonna have to be a next time.
I also felt bad for all the other kids who watched their brother's head get smashed like a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like that.
And the mom.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't help this situation. It's still totally traumatic.
I mean, you did.
Barely.
They get to live with the trauma. I mean, you know, that's better than dying.
I guess more of them get to live. Only one of them died, but they're now all influenced by the trauma.
So he saved 4 people, and that was barely.
No, he saved 3. Harry survived.
Well, yeah, but the point was to make his life better.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like now, he saved a couple people's lives, but now.
Well, we don't know that his life won't be better because now that he doesn't have the mental incapacities
and he doesn't have to go through it alone.
I mean, he'll have his parent or his mom at least.
Yes, some other people.
But it does remind me of my point. How do we know now that him saving these 4 lives, 4 quote unquote lives, now what if all 4 of them end up being terrible people?
Well, that was the whole point of it, to find out. That was the test. This was the test.
I also feel like it's not about the test because there would be a huge difference between all of them surviving and having no trauma and having one of them killed and they're all exposed to this hugely traumatic event.
So what do you mean by no trauma? Having their dad shot?
Okay. Yes, that would be traumatic, but far less traumatic than watching their dad pummel through the front door, kill their brother with a sledgehammer, and nearly obliterate the rest of them, getting shot by some total stranger. Like, that's way more traumatic than their dad coming at them with a sledgehammer and something.
The thing is, now that he knows 100% that he's guilty, I think he's just cut out the waiting and just kill him immediately and quietly, silently.
Yeah, I almost feel like you're gonna stop in Carol and Poolin's neck of the woods and just like do that, drive down here, shoot him, and then go to like Texas. Like this is a quick version. Take care of this, take care of this. All right, now why am I here? Like, is there anything else on the list? Are we good now?
Yeah.
And I was glad that Turcoat showed up at the end there.
Yeah.
I like the visual too, like a what is this, like a metal jet blade sprouted from his chest or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
I can't remember how I said it.
For a second, I thought Harry picked up the bayonet, and I was like, wait, how would he have even gotten that? No, wait, that means he's there. Turco's there.
It's like a magic trick. This guy's so coated with
got
blood.
his revenge that he wanted.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Like, I thought it was a big ass knife. The fact that it keeps calling it a bayonet, does that mean it was attached to a gun, or it was just like, do you guys know what a bayonet is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bayonet that he took off a gun, or was it attached to the gun?
It was still attached to the gun.
Why did he just shoot him? Yeah, I was like, why did he, like, that's not easy to hide. He had a big ass rifle with a bayonet on it, and he's just walking around with that. Well, it was 1958, I guess. Where you can buy a gun for $10 with no questions asked.
And it was Halloween. He could have been like, oh, it's.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
that definitely adds to the cover. The tip of the blade dug into the floor and held him up. Ugh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because I hate Frank.
Yeah. Oh, Frank. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to hate there.
Yeah.
And he's a butcher. Like, who knows how that
I love
works.
how Harry throws his baby air rifle like that's gonna help. It's like, yeah.
He even shoots it. Like, he's like, pop, like a puff of air.
Yeah.
But it does help. He throws it at him.
I mean, it helps in both versions.
Yeah,
right?
I guess that is true because it hits the place where he got hit by the bullet, so it actually is hurt.
Doesn't something in his story about when he holds it up, something happens. I think.
Yeah, I think it was that. Something in my. For some reason, it's like he just barely missed him because of this, that, something like that.
Well, he slipped in the blood. I don't think that was the air rifle.
The air rifle didn't do anything. He thinks that he's gonna help, and he doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I remember is him saying, like, I'll shoot you, Daddy, if you don't stop.
Mm-hmm. Which he does again. But obviously it doesn't do it.
Doris was cradling her dead son. Can you imagine that picture?
Thank you. Traumatic.
I've never said it wasn't traumatic, my God, but it's still better than dying. Like her son who's got his skull caved in and brains splattered on the wall, and she's holding him in her hand.
So messed up. Like this is so hard. I almost feel like this whole scene. I guess it's not bloodier, but it almost feels bloodier because I guess they go into more detail.
Than what, the original?
Yeah. The original had to be bloodier because more people died, but it feels much more gruesome because you're being walked through it every step of the way versus just like, oh, everybody died.
You're hearing a super condensed version of the original. This one, you're living it. So imagine that 4 more times. 3 more times. So Ellen's awake. I thought Ellen was passed out or unconscious or fucked up under the rocking chair.
The first, in the original scenario, the second scenario, the oldest brother, Troy, I think his name is, carries her out. He says, get out. I shouted at Troy, take your sister and get out. Yell for help. So he
but I thought at one point he said somebody looked over and she was under the rocking chair, something.
Might have been hiding.
Maybe that was the first version. I don't think so. This one tore off.
I can't believe the police didn't come barging in because it's halfway through this, because that's a lot of emotion going on.
Well, there's no 911. Someone would have had to get to the.
There's no 911.
Wow, seriously?
I don't know when 911 was.
80s, I think.
Really?
Hey Google, when was 911 invented?
1968. On the website nina.org, it's not that far off.
1968. It's still after then. I didn't know it was that early.
I don't know why. I feel like I always thought 911.
No, you had to get on the phone, and if you're lucky, the phone wasn't a party line. And there was other people on the phone, because if you had to call someone and there's other people on the phone, you had to tell them to get off the phone. And then you had to call the operator. Then the operator had to call the local police department. And then they had to, that doesn't surprise me at all.
It makes a lot more sense than that.
911's a joke. Anybody? No?
Mm-mm.
Little Public Enemy there. Doris was cradling her dead son.
So I'm assuming No Suspenders dies of a heart attack at the end.
I don't know.
It doesn't say it, but I feel like he.
Well, he doesn't know.
You never know with Stephen King. If he doesn't say dead, then he's yeah.
And then it's not a given.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find it out. I'm assuming that's one of the things he's going to. Well, as soon as he gets back to No Suspenders.
Yeah.
And
he does say, "I'll do better next time."
Yeah, I like that. That's.
Well, damn, better. This whole thing is totally messed up.
Yeah. Well,
that better not the high point.
Right. So now he has to plan for Bill Turcotte or intercept him before they come to that, because he can't go through that again.
I hope not.
Or or maybe, I don't know. I think the question there is, what is Turcotte there without him meddling into it? Well, I guess he has to assume he's going to be there because he doesn't know the answer to that because he meddled. So when he goes back, he's there.
Well, that's a good point. He's not going to ask where Frank Dunning or where Dunning is, so Turcotte's not going to be on to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was thinking too.
That's a good point. He's going to know exactly where he is, who he is.
Oh, yeah, but if he does it the way we would like him to, then it doesn't matter anyway.
At first, I put my head between my knees and drew a series of deep, slow breaths as I learned in the Cross course. At first, I kept seeing Tugga Dunning's head as it exploded under the smashing downward force of the hammer, and that made the faintness worse.
Good thing.
That visual every time. That gets me every time. I can see it. I can just see it. I read that wrong. And Ellen, who wasn't deep in a coma from which she would never emerge. I thought he said she was deep in a coma. That's why I'm confused. Okay.
She is in the original.
Right. And Troy and Doris, her badly broken arm might hurt. But what had I done to 2011? Well, that's the question. That's the whole point of this, right? What did he do to 2011? Saw a yellow square under the windshield wipers. Did you finish? Wait.
Yeah, I finished it in the minutes.
One of our pauses. So yeah, he's like, well, fuck it. I guess I'm just gonna live in 1958. Like Jake's a real. I guess that's why Al picked him, because he's a real loner in this book. Like, he has no friends, no family, he doesn't know anybody. I know we talked about that, but like, I don't know that I'd be ready to just be like, well, I'll just live in this decade now. Like,
yeah.
No, I kind of want to go back to my life. I gotta tell you.
My friends, my family,
right. And my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he really accepts that fast. He's like, even if my life in 2011 really never happened, which it probably did, then oh well, this is the way it is now.
No sign. Yeah. The fingerprints belong to a man who wasn't going to be born from. I was thinking about that. So they run his fingerprints. Like, what would they do? Like, and then let's say in the 90s, you put every fingerprint you've ever had in a database, and you get a match. This is the guy that killed them in 1958. But wait, he wasn't even born yet. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
That throws the whole every fingerprint is unique.
I didn't even think they had fingerprints then yet. Like,
what's it called? Leopold and Loeb was the first fingerprint case. It was like 1910s or 1918, really? Something like that. They were, let's just say, more than a little surprised when they got convicted on fingerprints. Next to the drying set is a sign that says no admittance beyond this point until sewer pipe is repaired. Wonder if that's ever going to be repaired. I'm going to say no. No sign of the card man or the orange card man, if that's what he was now. Is that what you said earlier?
Sort of, but again, how is he just so nonchalant about that? Like, he's just like, whatever you are.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah.
History changed before I even got here to change it. That's not weird at all. It's fine. Everything's fine.
The relief of this decision was so great that my legs again went rubbery. I guess because. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I guess because Stephen King's from 1950, grew up in the 50s. I guess he's a lot more comfortable with I gotta live in the 50s, not a big deal. Like I wouldn't.
I was also thinking maybe it's his way of like helping himself stay calm because maybe there's no other option. So he's like, well, if this is the way it is, then it's not so bad.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that till it's true. Because like, Jake wouldn't know a damn thing about. Like, he's a fish out of water in 1958, whereas maybe Jake's dad wouldn't have been, or maybe Al wouldn't have been. Maybe I don't know how old was Al, but we figured that out, didn't we? No, we figured out how old Harry was, not Al.
Yeah. I don't even know if we really know because he didn't tell him his age. Oh no, yeah. Oh yeah. We just don't know how long he was gone.
Well, Al was gone 4 years that time. He's been through there at least 50 times, so who knows total.
Yeah, right.
Questions his own sanity. Like, wait,
that was funny.
2011 hallucination.
Right.
Was I always there?
I mean, if the door's gone forever, that's something, you're always going to wonder that, right? Maybe I'm.
I dream.
What does he say? Like, I'm sitting in a padded room right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that Al was shouting to him through the rabbit hole. Like, so how does it? So it's 2 minutes no matter what. So Al waited 2 minutes and then started shouting his name.
Well, no, because he hit something, so it made a sound.
Well, no. I'm just saying from Al's perspective, like so he just like walked around for 2 minutes and then was like, all right, Jake's coming. Like,
no, she's saying it signaled him to start calling his name because
he heard something. I know. I'm saying I'm trying to work out the paradoxes through that, and I may not have to overthink it. Like,
did it happen 1 minute and 59 seconds after he walked in there?
He was probably waiting. He was probably just sitting there waiting for Jake to come back.
Yeah.
He heard a bong sound that clearly wasn't in the pantry because no one's in there, and then was like, Jake, is that you?
Yeah.
Like,
No, that makes sense. It just fucks with my mind trying to work my brain around the like.
He probably has to question every sound at any
back. What?
I was gonna say he probably was questioning any sound he heard because you don't know, like,
Right.
It's been weeks for Jake, but it's been 30 seconds.
Through the portal, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, because he heard him the first time.
Yeah, they're like right at that part. It's all weird.
It's like a finny.
Yeah. Oh.
Dark Tower. We'll get there.
You know what?
I
I can't help
it.
I'm gonna read the Dark Tower books.
Good.
In between.
Do it.
These that we're reading.
Do it.
You say that like a threat.
Right?
No,
I'll show you. I don't mean it's derogatory, even if it sounds that way. It's just, there's like a space between worlds. How we word time has grown thin.
Huh?
It's a portal. A thinny is a portal. So it really is a thinny, as it is now that I say that out loud.
That's not what he describes a thinny as.
Well, not the not the Wizard and Glass thinny, but the Manny thinny in the top of the mountain or wherever the hell they are is a little more peaceful about things.
Oh, in the Kala?
Yeah, or at the top of the Kala, wherever they're like on a mountain next to the Kala or something there.
Okay.
So that one's a little less bloody.
Destructive.
Right, vengeful. Hungry, maybe that's the word. Less
poisonous.
Hungry. All right. I guess we're good on this one. And then we go to Living in the Past. I read a couple pages into that one. I didn't go too far. How long is this? How long's part 3?
225.
So about the same as part 2.
Yeah,
I wonder where the break is. In general. Damn it. Nothing. See if you guys pick it up.
I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say anything. I looked at something in part 3 and
he just looked at the next part.
She knows what page I was on.
Well, because I'm looking at this.
Well, there's something I said about 2.5 hours ago, and if
I didn't pick up on it, whatever it was.
go to what page is that? 255? 250? 350. Go to page 350.
350? Yeah.
That's what Yellow Card Man says to him.
Yes.
What? Sadie?
That guy, Jimlo.
Oh, the gym locker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wrote that down because that was part of the whole inflection thing that I thought was strange.
The Jimla?
Yeah.
That's the part I was talking about, so I chose not to say much about that on purpose. Jimla comes back into play later in the book, and so for me, well, it already came back into play because we all just saw it. So,
yeah,
it's so the fact that the Yellow Card Man saying that kind of says, okay, he's not just a drunk to me.
Oh, we already know that. Come on.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of things, but I'm trying to pretend like
I know a lot of things too.
Well, yeah, well, I know more. I know how it ends. I know if he kills one.
You've been lying this whole time?
On that, I'll just say the past is not very.
Oh, that obdurate
Art-
past.
The past does not make anything easy, and look at what he went through just trying to stop Frank Dunning. So
Part 4 is longer.
part 3 is where it starts to get fun.
Oh, real quick. The reason why I wrote that thing down about Jimla was because the interaction where he says, Yellow Card Man asks him, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" And then Jake starts to say, "A job, I hope. Listen, have you tried AA? Blah, blah, blah." And then he just interrupts and says, "Fuck off, Jimla." Like, it is strange.
I feel like my name isn't Jim or Law or Jim Law.
Well,
Like
it's the name. What the hell is Jimla?
Guess we're gonna.
It's not even the name that's the strangest part to me. It's just like again, he recognizes he doesn't belong there. He says this time, "What are you doing here?" And then when he starts to answer him, he interrupts him. He's like, no, it's not the right answer.
Right, I don't care what you're doing here. Get off. Yeah, it's like, yeah, what are you doing here? Well, you know what? It doesn't even matter what you say. Just get out of here. Like he's calling him. He's like, well, you're an asshole. Yeah, you're a Jimla. Like, yeah, go get your continence pants and get out of here. All right.
So are we doing 2 weeks again?
Well, I guess that's on.
That should work. What's the date? Oh, I can't look at it. Sorry.
The date is, what's today? 25?
25th. So, you know what? I don't know that we're going to be able to because that's Mother's Day, isn't it?
I have that day off. What's
True.
the date? Yeah, sorry about that.
The day is the night, and it's Mother's Day.
We might have to amend that because I might potentially be in my residency that weekend. Remember when you were trying to do taco whatever, and I told you I had residency that weekend? So that's 3 intense days, like 10 hours a day of school. So, but they're telling me I owe them money, and I'm paying that, so I'm not sure if I'm taking that class yet. So we'll see. But if we don't do that, I don't know.
We could do Saturday.
Well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be out, so we'd have to do Monday, which I could do. I don't know if you guys can do it, but
that's really hard for me to do during the week because I normally
well,
I have to work till 6, and normally I'm working later than that.
Let's just plan it for Sunday. I'll work it out. But like, it might be late.
Do Sunday. It's Mother's Day.
Oh, so you're talking about Saturday?
Yeah. But if not, we could just make it 3 weeks.
I can't answer that yet. Maybe 3 weeks, maybe not. Depends on school. If I'm taking the class, then we'll just call it 3 weeks. If I'm not, then we'll do it on Saturday.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, Amber, are you gonna have work on Saturday?
What?
Are you gonna have work on Saturday?
Yes, but I get off at 2:30. So if we did it at like 3:30
or later.
Yeah, do it at like 4. She's gonna need to read for an hour.
It worked out fine, didn't it?
Oh, hey, I was sitting here reading. I did like 80 pages yesterday.
I forced myself to stop and read something else until I finished.
It's weird doing it that slow. I kind of,
It is, yeah.
I don't like when I get into it. I don't want to stop. I just want to go.
Same, I know. That's why I was like.
Well, that's what I was saying. If you want to go, just go. Just remember, we can only talk about.
But I can't do that.
Well, then don't read it.
That's why I'm not.
Then go read The Witch in an Hour.
That's what I did. Well, I but that's what I did. I just stopped and started reading something else.
Or read The Dark
Yeah.
Tower.
That's what I was
All
doing.
right.
I
Show me.
doing that.
I got the first one up there. I'll give it to you. All right.
Don't get
Signing
discouraged
off.
by the first one though.
The first one's not as good as the rest because he wrote it when he was like 19 in 1972 or something. And then the second one he wrote like 15 years later. So they get incrementally better. The first couple.
Your word.
By like the fourth one, you'll be so wrapped up in it you won't know what to do with it.
Okay.
All right. That's it. See you in a couple weeks.
All right, bye.
Bye.